Good morning, kindergartners. Last week, Miss Brusso started to do a lesson with you where she read you the story, The Very Hungry Caterpillar. And then she also read you the poem, Caterpillars. And then you guys came up with a list of some things that were similar. So we were comparing a poem with a story, and you were thinking about what was similar, okay? So you came up with that they were both about caterpillars. Caterpillars were eating, and caterpillars became a butterfly in both of them, okay? So today we are going to do the differences in the story, okay? So I'm going to turn the camera around so that you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to reread the poem and the story, and then we will make a list of some things that are different. All right. So first we're going to reread the poem. So the poem's called Caterpillars, and it says, "What do caterpillars do? Nothing much but chew and chew. What do caterpillars know? Nothing much but how to grow. They just eat what by and by will make them be a butterfly." So that's our poem, okay? So let's look back and let's see. We said a similarity was that they were both about caterpillars, they were both eating, and they became a butterfly. So let's go back in now and let's see if there's anything else in there, okay? So what do caterpillars do? Nothing much but chew and chew. So it talks about chewing, which we also said a similarity was that they were both eating. So that would probably still be a similarity. What do caterpillars know? Nothing much but how to grow. We didn't say anything about growing on our similarities. So I think that that is something that we can record. So down here, I'm going to write poem. They grow. Okay, let's keep reading. They just eat what by and by will make them be a butterfly. So we did talk about how they became a butterfly. So the only thing that was different in the poem so far that I've seen is that they grow. It mentioned that they grow, okay? So now let's go back and let's look at the book and we'll try to compare, okay? So The Very Hungry Caterpillar. I am going to unclip this so that we can read a little easier. Okay. Very hungry caterpillar. In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf. So if I look over here, I didn't say anything about eggs. So down here, I'm going to write story. And in the story, it mentions little eggs. All right, let's keep reading. One Sunday morning, the warm sun came up and pop, out of the egg came a tiny and very hungry caterpillar. So let's look over here again. We said that they were both talking about caterpillars. They were both eating, so that would imply that they were hungry. So I think we can keep going. He started to look for some food. So the poem didn't really mention him looking for food, so I think that we could put that as a difference. So looking for food. You guys are doing great. Let's keep looking for some things that are different. Monday, he ate an apple. Did it mention eating an apple in our poem? I don't think so. So I think that we can include that as a difference. So I'm going to just make a note right here. Apple. Tuesday, 2 pears. Again, it didn't mention him eating pears before, so I can list those. Pears. 3 plums on Wednesday. So I'm going to write over here, plums. I'm noticing a lot of differences in the story than the poem now. 4 strawberries. So I can come over here and I can write strawberries. Keep going. On Friday, he had 5 oranges. So we can add oranges to our list. Oh my goodness. Saturday, 1 piece of chocolate cake, 1 ice cream cone, 1 pickle, 1 slice of Swiss cheese, 1 slice of salami, 1 lollipop, 1 piece of cherry pie, 1 sausage, 1 cupcake, and 1 slice of watermelon. Oh my goodness. So over here, I'm gonna write all kinds of food, right? Because he had a lot of different kinds of food. The next day was Sunday again. The caterpillar ate through 1 nice green leaf and after that felt much better. So let's look over here. We can list leaf, right? Because it didn't say anything about leaves in our poem. So put it up here. He ate through a leaf. Now he wasn't hungry anymore, and he wasn't a little caterpillar anymore. He was a big, fat caterpillar. Oh my goodness. Did it say that he was a big, fat caterpillar in the poem? No, it didn't, so we can put that as a difference. And I'm going to add it up here. I'm running out of room. So a big, fat caterpillar. He built a small house called a cocoon around himself. He stayed inside more than 2 weeks. Then he nibbled a hole in the cocoon, pushed his way out. So let's look over here. The poem did not mention a cocoon either, so we can add that to our story for a difference. So he made a cocoon, right? He was a very beautiful butterfly. And it did mention that they both became a butterfly, so that was a similarity, okay? So I'm gonna label this down here, differences, okay? So a lot of times, it's our list and we have the similarities that you did with Miss Brusso last week. So let's just look at those again. The story and the poem both were about caterpillars. They both talked about caterpillars eating, and they both talked about caterpillars becoming a butterfly, okay? So now today with me, we went back, we reread our poem, we reread our story, and then we listed the differences. So in the poem, the only different thing that it mentioned was that they grew, okay? So it talked about them growing. Didn't really mention that in the book very much. In the story, we had a lot of differences, huh? It was a lot more detailed than the poem. So it talked about how there was a big fat caterpillar, little eggs. He was looking for food. He ate an apple, pears, a leaf, plums, strawberries, oranges, and all kinds of food. And then it also mentioned how he had to go into a cocoon before he became a butterfly. Okay, so the story was a little more detailed than the poem. They both talked about caterpillars. They both talked about eating and becoming a butterfly, but the story had a few more differences than the poem, right? They weren't exactly the same. You guys did a great job today. Thank you for learning along with me, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.